Something's happening. I can't see anything. Oh, there we go. Alright, I see 2 people are watching. Can anybody hear me? Ooh, there's lag. There's big time lag. Somebody drop something in chat if you can hear me. Yeah, sick. Is that a yes, you can hear me? What up? Luca, don't go to sleep. It's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, how potato does my MS Paint look right now? Can you just like barely make out the icons and stuff? Alright, I'm aware the quality is probably not going to be too great. excellent potato. Alright. Like French fries or like curly fries good. We're probably not curly fries good yet. Yeah, I figured you could hear me typing. I should try to make beats as I type. Freedom fries. Unforgivable. It keeps telling me video output is low. How do I fix it? Potentially serious viewing issues. Can you guys see me? Okay, so the quality on my own screen in the stream is like horrible. Like black and white Game Boy. That's what I look like right now. With a mustache. I look way smaller in real life. No, rocker panel rust. Dangerous, man. Depends how deep it is. Joke. Oh, my stream health is good now. Apparently, I fixed it by sitting here. Dang, South America. Thanks for tuning in. What time is it there, by the way? I don't know why I always ask people what time it is in other places in the world. Like it's, I don't know why I'm entertained by that. Okay. Oh, 8:55. See, it's not the same time zone, Caleb. New Zealand, what up? A list of all the parts for the turbo build. Probably after it's finished. Okay, I'm gonna try this mic out. Right now the mic is not plugged in. Now the mic is plugged in. Can you hear me on this new mic? And do I sound any better or any worse? Okay, I'm gonna try one more out. How about now? What does this sound like? Hopefully intensely better, as this mic is much more expensive. Tight. Australia. There's no background noise. It's silence in here. Some people are saying the quality is good, and some people are saying it is horrible. What's up from Toronto? What's up, man? Alright, well, I don't think it's going to be perfect because this is just the webcam off my laptop, so I'm sure it's like 40p. Oh, you can hear cars driving by. Dang. Okay, well, if it's not much different, then I'll probably just use the mic on my laptop. Exhaust noise. Maybe that's outside your house. Okay. Thanks, Caleb. Yeah, this is my first stream ever, so I'm just testing this out on you guys. So when I go live for like 30,000, I'm not having technical difficulties. Where is Raceplex? Would I ever consider a Speed 3? Yeah, those are cool cars. I would want one for like a daily driver. They can be pretty fast too. Justin, what are you doing to your Miata right now? Ruffin, I do remember. Those things look sweet. You welded them up yourself? Road Atlanta. Man, I can't. If I left right now, I wouldn't make it. Rotaries? I don't know about rotaries. I've never owned one. All I hear is a bunch of rumors that they're not reliable, and then all the people that own them say they're not that bad, so I tend to trust the people that own them. Yes, I definitely want to go to Europe. Maybe in the next, 2 years. They're awesome until they're not. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've heard. No, I doubt you're the only one experiencing lag. It says my stream health is horrible. But some people say the quality's okay, so we're just going to keep running and see how this is. And feel free to ask me questions and stuff, and I'll do my best to answer them as we're trying to experiment with video quality, etc. The Exoset is sweet. I would so build one if I could have a car that wasn't, daily driven. If I had extra space in the garage and I could afford to just put a totally fun car in there, I might build an Exoset. Maybe, maybe not. No, I am not selling the old Garrett. The old Garrett is probably going to go back on my car. I just put the 2860 on as an experiment because I like to try to tune new things, and it's been fun so far. I did some pulls on the way home. I love the SR, man, but one thing I don't understand is why so many people. What's up, Steven? Why so many people swap the SR into their American S13 and S14 because the K8 turbo is just so awesome. And it's got so much potential, even the stock motor. I see them do well over 300 on stock bottom end. Yeah, so there are a few different versions of the 2860, and the one I have is both the cold side and the hot side is the biggest one. And the hot side is the highest AR, so it's literally the slowest spooling 2860 available. Yeah, it's a huge difference. It's like 10 psi at 3000 is what my old turbo did, and now it's 10 psi at 4000. And even if you're at 4000 and you floor it, it's like you gotta wait till Christmas for that thing to spool up. Ruffin, I have Nitto NTO1s in 225 size. They're extremely sticky. They can almost hook up in first gear. Maximilian, I understand brake boosting, but that's for like freeway racing and stuff. You're not going to be brake boosting in the canyons on exiting every corner, man. You'll burn your brakes up. No, I don't plan on upgrading the bottom end, at least on the 1.6. When the 1.6 dies, I'm probably going to swap a 99 motor in. NTO1s in the rain are... they're pretty much good, as good as any other summer performance tire when they have full tread. But when you start to go through the tread, and you have very little left, they get squirrely. I've definitely spun third gear, like on the freeway in the rain. Thomas, the problem with anti-lag is that it's very, very hard on the manifold and the turbo and the muffler and everything. And it's different from two-step. Two-step is basically a secondary rev limiter. Anti-lag is like dumping a bunch of fuel into the exhaust and creating combustion. And turbos are expensive, man. I don't want to break anything. I did not do the engine build on the 1.6. I decided against it. My stock 1.6 is doing pretty awesome. Yeah, anti-lag just destroys everything. Everything from your exhaust valves to the muffler. Just plan on bye-bye. As long as it, for the professionals, as long as it lasts one rally race, it's all good. Okay, about the 99 with the thrust bearing failure. Is it only some 99s, or is it all of them? Did they fix them at some point? TTG, I ordered my roll bar unpainted, and then I had it powder coated locally. Powder coat is a lot stronger coating than just spray paint. Vertical gaming because I don't know. I guess I should get a VVT engine, but I have MS2 and MS2 can't tune VVT, so I have to add the VV tuner. And it's like adding a whole other dimension. I don't know. It just depends what I find. If I find a VVT engine, I might go for it because they're awesome when they're tuned right. Yeah, you have to be careful with the NTO1s in the rain, for sure. Especially when you run low on tread. Yeah, exactly. The VVT I've heard is difficult to tune, and I'm all about the simple, very simple things. The 99 2000 engines are simple. Caleb, I know, man. You can definitely make it. Well, you can make enough power on a 99 head to destroy your 99 engine, too. No way, man. 99 motors, they can, man, those things can spool a turbo. At minimum 500 RPM sooner than a 1.6. Look up some dynos. Okay, so the RE71Rs versus the NTO1s. The RE71R is the fastest street tire right now. It's a 200 tread wear. They're super, super, super sticky. But I have heard that they wear out just as fast as NTO1s. So I really want to try them, but they don't offer them in my size. So until they do a 225/45, I can't really try them. I'm going to stick to the NTO1s because I know they work. Oh, here, what if I do this? Whoa! Big boy! I have not drifted the Miata. I've always had really, really sticky tires on it, so it's not really suitable for drifting if I want to respect my drivetrain. I don't really like replacing transmissions. It's not my favorite thing to do. Where's Dublin Mazda? Dublin, like in the UK? Samuel, I wanted to do a one take with Matt, and I talked to him via email, and he was down, and then some time passed, and I hit him up again a couple months later, and he said that he already drove a modified Mazda Speed, and that pretty much covers all of the turbo Miata genre, which I think my car is a little bit different from your average Mazda Speed, but he has done a lot of Miata, so it's kind of understandable. You're trolling about the XXRs in a straight pipe and welded diff? You're watching too much Haggard Garage. Roughing the 205 is just a more narrow tire. It's 205 millimeters wide. 225 is 225 millimeters wide. I would prefer to not buy a rebuilt 1.8. Either I want to rebuild it myself, or I want to buy a factory sealed one that hasn't been opened up yet. Because to be honest, Mazda can probably build an engine a lot better than I can. The 5-speed or the 1.6? Your guess is as good as mine. 5-speed or 6-speed? I would love to go 6-speed. They're $600, so they're not even crazy expensive. and they're stronger. But the problem is the ratios. I'm scared of the short ratios with a 3.9. So if you put, I have 5-speed and 3.9, which is really, really good. And if you go to a 6-speed, in order to somewhat get the gearing back to how it was, you need a 3.63 ring and pinion. And those were not even available in the US, so they're kind of hard to find. You can either pay like $700 new, or you can try to find one from either Australia or maybe the UK. I know Australia. Some Australian cars got them. I will do a 1.8 swap when the 1.6 dies. That 1.6 is not coming out of there until I go out in the morning and it doesn't start anymore. For good reason, you know. Like the compression is 30 psi. Justice, man, don't go to the dark side. Don't do the XXRs. 6 speeds for $600. That's like normal price. 600, 650, 600 to 700 pretty much. Unless it's one of those shops that sells like JDM 6 speeds for probably like $1,200. I know, I want to build it myself, but here's the thing. Everyone just says, oh, it's just pistons and rods. But here's the thing. You gotta have machine work done, which is not like a huge deal, but you gotta add it up. Machine work to the block. And you're gonna have the head refreshed. You're not gonna put a motor together without refreshing the head. I would need another clutch, because mine's pretty much at the limit of how much power it can take. I would have to go to a 6-speed, and to make it the gearing reasonable, because you know I'd have 350 horsepower at that point, I'd have to go to a 3.6 rear end. What else? New manifold, and if I'm doing a high horsepower build, I'm not going to put a junk manifold on it. I'm not even going to put a shorty cast manifold. I want to do a real good one like the Fab 9 EFR setup with the external wastegate. So yeah, that's why I think twice before I go and build a motor like that. Ooh, I gotta catch up. I got lots of chats. Exactly, Caleb. Manifold, downpipe, EFR turbo. Just adds up. It's not just the pistons and rods, man. It's like, if I want to do a proper build, it's going to be like another $5 grand. Yeah, exactly. RTEC, track speed engineering, the good stuff. You guys know what's up. Well, I'm not going to find an unused 1.8. I would just get it, out of a crashed car or something. Hopefully with under 100,000 miles or something like that. 100,000 or 120,000. Not unused, unopened. The head's never been off. The bottom end's never been apart. And there's some, never been worked on by some shade tree mechanic. 460 wheel horsepower 1.6, but I want to see that dyno. The 1.6 cannot spool a turbo the same way a 1.8 can. I'm sure that car's super fast, of course. Exactly, 30 grand. LS swap would be cool. That'd be a cool engine. I would drive that. More expensive though than just doing a 99 swap. That's a lot of power. Plus the fab work. I don't have a welder. try to. Let's see. Okay, this is what the dyno looks like on most big turbo 1.6s. Okay, you have your dyno right here, kind of, right, and you have horsepower and torque. No. RPM, right? And then it's like this. This is a big turbo 1.6. It's like, oh man, like, this thing's kind of weak. And then all of a sudden, you crap your pants. Like right about here is where you usually crap your pants, but it keeps going. And then you're like, you need like NASA training to drive this thing because it's just crazy. You have nothing, and then boom, all of it. That curve. Comparison between Quinn's red Miata and my Miata? Is that what you're asking? Yes, I have seen the coupe. These things are sweet. But if I owned one, I couldn't drive it because there's only like 10 ever. What kind of stuff other than Miatas? Like a lot of stuff. Just like random stuff. I played guitar for a long time, piano. I used to game when I was younger, not really much anymore. Quinn's red Miata. The main difference between his car and mine, it's got a different turbo on, it's got a TD04, and I believe he has HKS cams, ARP head studs, and a Cometic head gasket. So he's got a little bit more work in the top end. The cams probably help. That little turbo was just screaming at 18 pounds. A stream of wrenching. If I could figure out how to do that, I guess that would be cool. Like if you guys saw one of my videos before it was edited, you'd be asleep in like 20 minutes because the videos are like an hour and a half long. And then I have to edit it down to 10 minutes. Johan, is that a question? Man, I love all your videos, man. Forza 6 group event. If I had an Xbox One, I would totally do it. You know what I want to do? Is a live stream with other Miata people. Like, do you guys know who Tyler Fialco is? Jinjum. Cars on Board. The Mazda Speed, one of my buddies has a Mazda Speed Miata. Honestly, I don't like it. Okay. I like the car because it's very nice. It's very, very nice to drive. It rides nice. The interior is really, really nice. My car is like a bucket compared to a Mazda Speed. Wasabi for sure. And then I think a lot of people have the misconception that when they buy a Mazda Speed, they're like, oh, the Miata's already turbo, it's got all this potential. But it's probably more expensive to get a Mazda Speed to 250 wheel horsepower than it would be to get any other Miata 250 wheel horsepower, because the Mega Squirt is super expensive. It's like $1,300. You got to replace the manifold and the downpipe and the turbocharger anyways to get any decent power. The turbo on that thing is horrible. It spools to 8 psi at like 3,800 RPM, and it's like this big, the turbo. If this is like a GT2560R right here, that's a Mazda Speed Miata turbo. SS327 Chevy, going to a big turbo but twin scroll, maybe, but I don't want to go so crazy on my stock motor because I really want to go to a 1.8, and if I invest a bunch of money in the twin scroll manifold on a 1.6, it won't fit the 1.8. And there seems to not be very many, I can't even remember any twin scroll Miata setups. Maybe partially because twin scroll turbos, at least the ones I've seen, the smallest twin scroll turbos are pretty big. Most people are not doing that like straight out of the gate, on stock motors and everything. One PSI at 3,000 on a Mazda Speed stock? Did someone drill a hole in their wastegate flapper? Username face guy that doesn't have a name, he just has a face as a username. Miata build with 2 tiny turbos. If you go to Google and you search twin turbo Miata, you will see that. There's a member of MiataTurbo.net that built a twin turbo Miata with 2, it's like twin, I think it's twin GT12s. Looks like a mess though. I mean, it's cool that he did it to do it, but it looks kind of looks like a mess of piping and stuff. 4 degrees is a lot of camber. I'd say on most setups that's too much to be performance oriented. Yes, I do use an IAT sensor because of Mega Squirt. It uses a combination of air intake, temperature, and manifold absolute pressure, or MAP, instead of a MAF or AFM. Benefits over an AFM are it flows, you can flow a lot more air. Over a MAF, I don't really know. I don't really know if the MAF is a restriction. But it gives you the ability to kind of freestyle with your intake. You can run the piping any way you want. You know what? I raced a... Can you guys hear the ice cream? Oh, can you hear the ice cream man? He's stopping. He knows I come outside sometimes. He lays in Valentina. I raced a stock 335 and I pulled on it. And I've also raced a 135 with unknown modifications, but I know it was modified because it was super loud and it had mad two-step. The flames were like half the size of his bumper, and that guy pulled on me. But I have no idea what was done to it. So to answer your question, no, I have not confirmed raced a JB4 135. I think it would probably be pretty close to even. Yeah, 4 degrees of camber if you're on slicks. But probably only in the front. I think in the rear you still want to run less. Best used turbo for a budget Miata build. SR20 turbo. Best way to go. They're T25 flange, and there's lots and lots of T25 manifolds available. and they're very appropriately sized. Okay, someone told me to lower my mic volume, so tell me if that sound. Tell me how that sounds right there. The most recent race. It was at the quarter mile when I went to Fontana. But you couldn't really see any other cars, so sorry about that. I wasn't really concerned with who I was racing. I was concerned about running a fast time. I raced a 350Z and a Mustang and a Charger and some Audi, I think, and an Integra. Wait, that's 5. Scratch the Audi. No, a T25 does not equal a GT 2560. A GT 2560 is a form of T25, but there are several different versions. The GT 2560R is a ball bearing turbo, and so is the GT 2554R and the GT 2860R. Anything with GT and R or GTX and R are ball bearing turbos, but there are also non-ball bearing versions of those turbos. So like the old S13 turbos, I don't think any of them are ball bearing. The S14 turbos, the smaller ones I think are non-ball bearing, and then you have the S14 Spec R, which I believe has a GT 2560R. Maybe you can school me on that. My favorite race. I raced a 2014 Mustang GT. Not really raced. He pulled out of traffic and was like gonna try to fly by on me, and I just dropped a couple of gears and I hung right on his bumper all the way up this hill. And then we got to the next light, and he had like the biggest smile on his face, like, "Dude, what's in that thing?" He's like laughing. That was a pretty fun one. My favorite races are when I run someone and you can tell they totally didn't expect a Miata to do what it just did. I don't know if it's worth the money to do the EFR because I've never run one before. I've heard they're magic. I've heard they spool like a 2554, but they make top end like a 2860. That's the word on the street. The 15G has more potential, but the 13T will spool faster. I've seen cars with both. The old Gretty setups had the 15G, and they've been known to make 200 plus. And then I know there's someone on the boards with a 13T. Those things can do like 10 psi at 2600. They spool really fast. ME221, I don't know anything about that ECU, so I couldn't tell you. The best exhaust for a turbo car is just 3 inches all the way out, no muffler, no nothing, if you can get away with it. $250 wheel from a 13T. That's pretty high. What kind of dyno was that on? A Dynapack. I don't know if those read high or low. That's pretty crazy for a 13T. That's a big number. That's a 1.6 or 1.8. If you can build the Mega Squirt yourself, I would do the DIY. Because you can build I think you can build MS3 for cheaper than you can buy MS2 plug and play. Yeah, there is a Link ECU, and I've heard nothing but bad things about it. Yeah, motorcycles are cool. I have my motorcycle license. I used to have a 2001 Honda XR650R that was plated, so I could ride it on the streets. I used to rock that thing. Yeah, I want a diesel so I can tow my cars to the track. That'd be sweet. One day when I'm rich and famous, I'll be able to afford one. I want like a 1996 Dodge Ram with a manual transmission, or even a newer one, 6 feet on the floor. Nickel and Diamond, what's up, man? Nice of you to drop by. I'm doing all stock fuel stuff for Broken Boosted, and I don't know how it's gonna be yet because I've only driven it the one time. That one video you see on my channel is the only time that car has been driven since the turbo was on it. But I have super top secret news. How many of you are there here? 41. So only 41 people know this. I'm going to pick up Broken Boosted tomorrow. Who's stoked on that? Anybody? Everyone's like, man, forget that car. Just blow up your 1.6 already. We want to see 300. Yeah, I wouldn't do Hydra because Hydra is more expensive, I think, and Megasquirt. So many more people are running MS that there's a lot more aftermarket support for it. There's a lot of experience out there, a lot of experienced people that can give you support for Megasquirt. Sub Diego, is that the Golden Gate Bridge in your picture? Do you live in Bay Area? Caleb, that's what I heard. My good friend Sean from 8-Bit Tuning, he specializes in Megasquirt tuning, and he hates Hydra. The Vipes used to be the way to go, man. Before MS, that's way better than just retarding the CAS. Haltech is I've heard only good things about that. I don't know if they do a plug and play or if you can do like a DIY plug and play version like you can with Megasquirt. Enzo Loco is Bay. What is it? Bay Area Miata Association or something like that? Is that the big Miata group up there? Samuel, how much boost on what? You gotta be more specific. Holy Gamer, what is up? Didn't you win something? I recognize that screen name. You won a gift card. The Turbo Civic and the Turbo MX-5. Both easy to work on. Both can go very fast. Just depends on if you want the front-wheel drive platform or the rear-wheel drive. Oh, the MK Turbo Kit is sweet. That's like the best way to go reliable budget turbo. Here's what you do. You get Megasquirt in your car when it's stock. You get it tuned, right? Yourself or even by someone else. And then all you do is injectors and the MK Turbo Kit, and you're like 220 wheel horsepower, reliable, done deal. You're going to have to do a clutch too. But yeah, the MK Turbo Kit is sweet. I've never actually raced an S2000, just like straight up. I want to though. I want to race everything. I want to race everything just because I want to compare. I want to be able to benchmark myself against other cars. I'm not really a fan of Racelands, no. Especially the base Racelands for like $350. That's what's on Broken Boosted. I hate those things. Yeah, it's totally possible to boost the Miata for $1,000. But if you want a stitch of reliability in there to do it for $1,000, you gotta have like the hookup on stuff. You have to you gotta like get a junkyard turbo for $50, like a friend that welds that can make a downpipe for you. Luca, I'm not sure. I originally named it the Car Passion Channel so I could branch off, and in fact, I originally started with 300ZX stuff. So I think the Miata will always be a part of my channel, or at least a Miata, because people like that a lot. But I might want to expand my horizons. A lot of people on my channel say they own other cars, but they like to watch my channel just because, that's really cool to hear. So yeah, I might do something else. Not follow the same video format. The Rudnick pipe. The Brat pipe. E30 build. Here's the problem with the E30 build. I already had an E30 and I didn't like it that much, so I probably won't buy another one. I had an 89 325i that already had all the goodies on it. I didn't really like it that much. I sold it and I bought another 300ZX. RX-8 turbo, that'd be sweet, straight pipe. RX-8s are like the cool car that not that many people know that are cool. Dang, we only have 40 people in chat and I'm getting spam already? Oh my goodness. Yeah, BT Racing coils are good. I've never run them myself, but I've seen them. They look good. What you want in a coilover is independent spring preload and ride height adjustability. You want those things to be separate. There should be 3 adjustable collars on coilovers. I'm doing coilover videos very, very, very soon. I'll tell you all about what coilovers are on my car and all that kind of stuff. Miata drift vids. I don't want to spoil anything, but you might be stoked soon. Who likes drifting? Honestly, I've only done about 3 drift events. They were all in my 300ZX. I had super, super, super fun doing them, but it's still not really my thing because I like having a piece of paper that says, hey, you were faster than this other guy by this many thousandths of a second. And it's like, that's just how my brain works. I'm very concrete. I like details and precision, in case you haven't noticed after watching my videos. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, so I always have fun. I always had fun when I went drifting. If you look at some like really old videos, circa maybe 2012 or so, on probably this channel and the Car Passion channel, you'll see a little bit of footage of 300ZX drifting. See, Ruffin? We got company. Okay, guys, well, this was a good test stream. I'm going to run, and I'm going to do a stream on my main channel for 30,000 subs. I will catch you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.